trumpet player currently attending the Ithaca College School of Music. Some of you may know me through my Instagram account, Trumpet Max, where I post practice videos and discuss anything related to trumpet and music. For the rest of you, I may be a new face, so in that case, welcome. I've been thinking about creating a YouTube channel for a while and finally decided to, now that some of my followers suggested that I do so. So here we go. In the future, I plan on creating more videos about practice and fundamentals. I'll likely also post some performances of mine, collaborations, Q&As, and other types of videos that are suggested or come to mind. Before we get started, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe down below, and consider checking out my Instagram account, where I post more often. I'm also looking for feedback on this channel, so if you have anything to say, positive or negative, feel free to comment. Alright, let's get to the video. Before we dive into some exercises, let's talk about why we'd actually want to practice our flexibility on the trumpet. I like to relate concepts like these to actual trumpet repertoire, so it doesn't seem like we're just practicing our fundamentals in the name of practicing our fundamentals. Working on flexibility can help improve several aspects of your playing: tone, control, embouchure stabilization, and of course range and endurance can all benefit from simple lip slur exercises that we'll get into later in the video. Today I'm going to focus on lip slurs, but there are definitely other ways of practicing your flexibility that you should explore and practice. In my experiences and from what I've learned, the embouchure stabilization is crucial if you want to experience the rest of the benefits that can result from flexibility exercises. If you ever watch videos of professional trumpet players performing, you may notice that their lips and embouchure often remain rather still, even when they're jumping between high and low registers. You may also find videos of players who display more movement. Different players have learned to adapt to their own physical makeup, and some have been able to get away with less common embouchure approaches to trumpet playing. But in my opinion, I feel it is best to minimize the embouchure movement in lip slurs and register transitions if possible. Let's take a look at some lip slur exercises from the popular Arbin book. When you shift to the higher pitch, be aware of how much your embouchure is actually moving. Keep in mind that some level of embouchure movement is inevitable to accommodate for the higher pitch, even though most of the change should come from tongue raising and airspeed. Practicing in front of a mirror has helped me identify embouchure movement that I hadn't previously been able to notice, so consider giving that a try if you'd like. While practicing these and other similar exercises, it's also good to think horizontally and not vertically. In basic terms, this just means play towards the end of each phrase. Mentally, you can try approaching this concept by adding a very slight crescendo into the exercise, or by increasing your energy as you approach the end of each phrase. Don't think too much about the higher partial being any higher than the lower partial. If you get into the habit of seeing the higher partial as a higher, harder note, you may begin pinching, tightening, and closing off your air, or relying on pressure to make the higher note speak. More or less, you're trying too hard. Lastly, you should be aiming for quick note transitions. The goal is to minimize the time it takes to transition from a high note to a low note, or from a low note to a high note. You want to avoid any foreshadowing or changing in your sound. I hope I'm not boring you with all this talk, but there's one last thing to remember, and that's posture and breath. Make sure that your shoulders aren't rolled forward, that your neck is stretched out to meet the mouthpiece, and that your back isn't in a hunch. Conversely, also make sure that you're not pinching your shoulder blades together, and that you're not standing up super tight in the name of good posture. You want to feel relaxed and open where you can take a good, solid, and deep breath. I'll now demonstrate a couple of these exercises, trying to keep everything in mind that I just mentioned. I'll play what's written, then there'll be a bar for free, then you can play along if you wish. Between each exercise, I generally try to rest as long as I play. So if I play a passage that's 16 measures, I'll generally try to let the metronome click 16 full measures after I play to rest. Not everyone practices the same way, but this has worked for me, and I generally apply it to most of my practice. Now, depending on your experience with these types of exercises, some of you may find that this is rather easy, and for others it may be completely foreign. Both of these is fine because in the end, we're all just trying to make progress. With this last one, it can sound pretty messy, and I know that I have some work to do with it. This is basically just taking everything that we've worked on and putting it to a more extreme test. Thanks so much for watching. In creating this video, I'm really just trying to pass on many of the things that I've learned from my teacher so far, and I hope to continue doing that in future videos. In a time when the arts are so limited, I think it's really nice to see so many people sharing their musical insight, experiences, and content online, so I hope to continue doing the same. Again, if you have any suggestions, requests, or video ideas, feel free to comment down below. Also, if you prefer videos to have more talking, less trumpet playing, or anything in between, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.